Hey dumplings, it's Dave Desai. Welcome back to my channel. Today I want to get into BTS and their performance at the AMAs. As I am filming this right now, they have not performed yet, but a couple of you guys were pretty concerned with their safety and of course the possibility of BTS being there for it. I definitely wanted to get into it and talk about some of the new updates that were there, some that you might not have known of. I also want to get into Jimin forced into going solo, having a little solo song for 2021. It's a cute story, so we'll end with that one. So let's jump into the tea. If you are new here and you're interested in this type of stuff, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and that notification bell to be notified anytime a new video drops. And if you're a hater, like to be the first to leave your hate comment, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and that notification bell also so you can be the first to do so. Now let's jump into it. Now, of course, the first thing that we're going to be talking about today is the AMA performance. So it was announced, I believe, a week or so, or whenever the AMAs was announced, it was said that it was going to be an in-person award. And they had already invited a bunch of singers that were going to be performing at the award show, or appearing at the award show, whichever. Now this is a problem because California is where the AMAs take place. And from what I hear, most people over in California, they're just over the virus. It's last year's problem, is what they say. I've also heard from some of my social media friends that live in LA. Their response is that still going on? California cases are an all-time high right now. People over there are just not wearing masks. So I wasn't surprised that TV crew or production wouldn't care as much over there about doing their normal thing again. Initially, about a week ago, there was an article that was written by the newspaper or magazine called Vulture, who called out the AMAs as they should, basically saying to let artists accept the award from home. This keeps all the artists safe. And of course, this was a small concern for some armies that BTS was going to apparently appear in person, or they were scheduled to. And they would be flying right into a city with a lot of cases, if not the most right now. It was also reported that allegedly there were 4 crew members of the award show that had tested positive for the virus. This means that the entire theater is possibly infected, but they did apparently disinfect everything. But things always change last minute, so even after I heard this and I was like, oh no, BTS is gonna be there, I wanted to see where this would go. Turns out on November 17th, Vulture updated that a spokesperson actually came out and spoke about the artist's safety, and that was a huge concern for people over at the AMAs, and that a huge amount of tests were being done with the staff. There were over 1,200 tests, and if anyone tested positive in any way, they would be removed from the production. Which is great to hear, but doesn't really solve the problem. Unless the crew is tested and then locked into like a clean hotel room for a few days, like the days it took to build up the set, the actual day of the show, and then taking it down, and people make sure that the crew is in contact with no one else the entire time, you're still running risks of potentially infecting artists. But then on November 21st, I believe that was yesterday, there was an update on the Rolling Stone that apparently everyone will be wearing facial coverings unless they are singing or speaking on stage, which by the way, Gaga sang in a face mask, so y'all can do it. In addition, the spokesperson then talked about how BTS and Dua Lipa will be performing remotely. So BTS will stay in Korea as of now, and they won't attend the show in person. But we don't know if the show will be live or if it will be like a pre-recording type of thing. But we'll definitely have to wait and see on that. Now, of course, if BTS had gone to California, there would have been a high risk for them because the boys would likely have to go out and eat. Everything is open, you're going to be tempted to go out and eat. There's also a chance of them being infected with photographers, videographers, paparazzis, and of course even the audience members of the AMAs. Even if BTS avoids all of those other people, they're not going to avoid artists, and other artists might be in contact with other crew members who might have had it. And of course, if there's that live audience, that's even worse. So I do believe they made the right decision by staying in Korea. However, I talked about issues like this before. There was a staff member in the Island production crew that apparently tested positive a little while ago. I think it was a janitor or something. And BTS was obviously on that set. So there is of course some concern, right? However, for that video, I remember seeing a lot of comments of people saying like, who cares? It's just a small virus. I got it and it's not a big deal. Or whatever the comments was. And to be honest, I'm not that concerned with BTS themselves getting the virus because they are young. They are clearly very strong and healthy because they exercise a lot. So they have a great immune system. Even if something were to happen, a touch wood, they'll still be able to fight it. But maybe their parents won't. Maybe their close friends aren't as strong as they are. Maybe their grandma isn't as strong as they are. And they might not recover as well. We also don't know the long-term effects of this virus. And you could be okay now after getting it, but maybe not in a few years. The virus could impact your breathing, since it is apparently something that attacks the lungs. And this could overall affect their ability to dance and sing in the future. Again, that is my theory. I'm not a scientist or anything like that, but this is from what I'm gathering. So yes, I am concerned with them as human beings, but I'm also concerned with them as performers and artists. And of course, I'm concerned for their family. If anything happens to BTS's family, I'm gonna be sad. So I am very happy that they are deciding to do this remotely. I also think that this will be a trend going forward, even after all of this ends. Like, I just feel like overall you get a much better performance, a much more artistic performance when artists are forced to not perform on that stage. They get more creative on how their performances are gonna look. They get more creative control in general on the camera angles and all of that stuff. There's only so many different ways you can dress up that crummy little AMA stage. The stage isn't crummy, I just said it because it sounds cool. But instead of using that stage, they could rent out a stadium and perform there. They could perform at Grand Central Station. You know, something that literally broke records. And it's new and refreshing. I like that a lot more, honestly. I know the boys miss performing in front of an audience, but they just have to hang on a little bit longer. However, they're not going to stop releasing music anytime soon. I really like that. Taeyang was said to have a mixtape coming soon. Hopefully by next year. Maybe early next year. And maybe even Jimin will have a little solo moment too. BTS recently put out a video and it was their comeback countdown video. And it was posted on their YouTube channel. V actually kind of forced Jimin to give a little bit of information that maybe he didn't really have or he didn't want to give. A little spoiler on up and coming songs. A little something something in the works. So V was praising kind of Jimin for his very popular song Filter, saying it's really famous. And I mean, it's not just the song that's famous, V. Have you seen the boy? Have you seen Jimin, my husband? He's also famous. Taeyang continued to ask Jimin what would be like the follow-up for Filter. The second Filter, if you will. And Jimin actually expressed that he hadn't thought about that. And he's currently not really thinking about releasing another solo song. He wants to kind of discover his own voice, keep practicing, and then make really high quality songs when he's ready. V continued to ask if anyone can look forward to new songs in 2021. Jimin nodded and said, sure, we can expect something in 2021. And Taeyang really wanted to put a date on this. Bless his heart, oh my god. And he continued by asking June, maybe July? And Jimin said, oh no, that is too early. I agree, you can't create a masterpiece that early. You gotta give him a little time, maybe a month later. V then decided, alright then, it's going to be August. And Jimin laughed. So maybe we can definitely expect something in August. Or I mean latest December, right? Because he agreed to 2021. And 2021 ends after December. Then it becomes 2022. I didn't need to tell you that. You guys can count. I'm just telling myself because I can't count and I just learned yesterday. Now obviously Jimin doesn't have any ideas on when this will be or whatever is going to be out. But I think he's definitely now kind of forced to make it happen next year. Maybe in the summer. We'll have a little tune to funk out to in the summer. But I like that our boys do make songs very quickly. It's still considered very quickly even if it's a year. They're also able to get like full albums done in like a month or two. Okay, maybe a month or two is giving them too much credit, but like a few months, right? I believe Jimin can get out one nice song in about half a year. You got this, baby. But I do believe V's maybe asking all these questions because he's a little bit nervous about his own mixtape. I think he's definitely scared on what people will think. I think it's a lot of pressure, this being his like first one. He's also trying to find out what his own sound is going to be. I hope he does find it, and I'm sure the album's going to be great no matter what it sounds like. I definitely wanted to see what other people were saying over on the Tweetster. Some thoughts on Jimin's little spoiler. One person wrote, okay, August 2021, Jimin's new song, mark your calendar. Funny thing is, and really it's just my theory, if Jimin didn't think he could do it, BTS or Big Hit probably would have edited that clip out. Likely, maybe, I don't know. Because they definitely do know that when BTS says anything, a lot of armies remember that. We internalize it, we frame it, we hold on to it. So it's likely we'll get something by then, or even before then. Very exciting and really not that long of a wait. It'll be here before we even know it. Although that AM mixtape though, that'll probably be here sooner. Hopefully. We'll have something to fangirl over very soon. My hubby having a mixtape. Oh my god. Y'all keep asking how many husbands I have. How many times do I have to make it clear? All of them. All of the K-pop idols. All men and women in general. No one is not dating me. Let me know what you think. Let me know what your thoughts are. Leave it down in the comment section down below. Give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. And I'm featuring this comment right here. Thank you so much for leaving comments. As always, I do have a Patreon if you want to go over there and kind of check out some exclusive content that I can't really post over here. This includes things like reaction videos, like music video reactions, performance reactions, ship reactions. Also, you can request things you want to see over there as well. Make sure you go over there and check that out. Link is in the top of the description down below. Also, anything you contribute over there gives back to the channel, helps make better videos. I have a video over there explaining that. With that said, there's 2 videos that will appear on screen at the end of this video. So click on one of those videos and I'll see you over there. Bye.